Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 5, Chapter 19, Text 16. Bharte api asmin varshe sarikchaila santi bahavo malayo. Mangal prashto mainakas trikuta rashbha kutaka kolakaha.
Mangala prashto mai nakastri kuta rishabha kutaka kolaka.
Sayo devagirir rishya mukha shrishalo venkato mahendro varidharo.
Sayo devagiri rishayamukha Shri Shailo Venkato Mahendro Varidharo.
Vindhya shuktiman rikshagirihi pari yatro dronas chitrakuto.
Vindhya Shuktiman Rishagiri Pari Yatro
Drona Chitrakuta
Govardhano Revataka Kakubo Nilo Goka Mukha Indra Kilaha.
Govardhan
Govardhano
Revataka
Revataka
Nila
Mukha
Mukha Indrakila
Indrakila
Kama Girir Iti Chanye Cha Shata Sahasrashaha Shailastesham Nitamba.
Kamagiri iti cha
iti
anya
chanye
cha Shatsahasrasya Shaila Tesham Nitambah
Prabhava Nada Natyascha Santi Asankhyatāha.
Prabhava Nadanadhyascha Santi Asankhyatāha.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. In the tract of land known as Bharatvarsh, as in Ilavartvarsh, there are many mountains and rivers. Some of the mountains are known as Malai, Mangal Prashtha, Mainaka, Trikuta, Rishab, Kutaka, Kolaka, Sahai, Devagiri, Rasyamukha, Sri Shaila, Venkata, Mahendra, Varidhara, Vindhya, Shuktiman, Rikshagiri, Pariyatra, Drona, Chitrakuta, Govardhan, Raivataka, Kakubha, Nila, Gokamukha, Indrakila, and Kamagiri. Besides these, there are many other hills with many large and small rivers flowing from their slopes. So description of Bharatvarsha is being spoken. Etasham apo bharatya praja nama bhir eva punan tinam atmana.
Etasam apabharatayo pranamabhi eva puntinam atmanah.
Chopras prashanti chandravasa tam praparne avatoda kritamala vahayasi.
Cha upashyanti chandrabasaha tam prani avtoda kritmala vihayasi.
Kaveri veni payasvini karavarta Tungabhadra Krishna Venya.
Kaveri
Veni payasvani Shankaravarta Tungabhadra Krishna Venaya Rathi.
Bimarthi Godavari Nirvindhya Payoshni tapi reva surasa.
Vimarati Godavari
Nirvindya
Nirvindya
Payosni
Payosni
Tapi
Tapi
Eva
Deva Surasa
Narmada charmanvati sindur andaha shonascha nadau mahanadi.
Narmada
Narmada
Charmavati
Charmavati
Sindhu
Sindhu
Andha
Andhra
Shonati Nadu
Shonascha Nado
Mahanadi
Mahanadi
Vedasmriti rishikulya trisama kaushiki mandakini yamuna saraswati.
Veda
Vedasmriti
Smriti
Rishi Kulya Trisama
Sama
Kaushiki
Kaushiki
Mandakini Yamuna Saraswati
Saraswati
Dristvati gomati sarayu rodhasvati saptavati sushoma shatradrush.
Drish
Dvashvati Gomati Sariyu Rodasvati
Saraswati
Saptavati
Saptavati
Shoshama Shaddu
Sadhush
Chandrabhaga marut vridha vitasta asikni vishveti mahanatyaha.
Chandrabhaga
Chandrabhaga Marudvridha
Maruna
Vidasta
Vitasta
Akshani
Asikini
Vikshva
Vishvirti
Mahan
Mahanatya.
Two of the rivers, the Brahmaputra and the Shona, are called nadas or main rivers. These are other great rivers that are very prominent. Chandravasa, Tamraparni, Avatoda, Kritamala, Vaihayasi, Kaveri, Veni, Payaswini, Sharkaravarta, Tungabhadra, Krishnavenya, Bhimarthi, Godavari, Nirvindhya, Payoshni, Tapi, Reva, Surasa, Narmada, Charmanvati, Mahanadi, Vidasmriti, Rishikulya, Trisama, Kaushiki, Mandakini, Yamuna, Saraswati, Drishtavati, Gomati, Sarayu, Rodhaswati, Saptavati, Sushoma, Shatradru, Chandrabhaga, Marudvrada, Vitasta, Asikni, and Vishwa. The inhabitants of Bharatvarsh are purified because they always remember these rivers. Sometimes they chant the names of these rivers as mantras. And sometimes they go directly to the rivers to touch them and bathe in them. Thus, the inhabitants of Bharatvarsh become purified. All these rivers are transcendental. Therefore, one can be purified by remembering them, touching them, or bathing in them. This practice is still going on. So we know how so many people go especially to do Ganga Snan, or they'll go, to bathe in the Jamuna. Asmin eva varshe purusher labda janma shukla lohita Krishna.
Asmin Eva Varshe Purusha
Purushe
Labdha Janma Shulka Lohita
Rohita
Krishna
Krishna
Varnena
Varnena swarabdena karmana divyamanu katayo.
Varnena
Varnena
Swa
Swarabdena
Arabdhena
Karmana
Karmana Divyamanushanaka
Divyamanushanaka
Katayo
Gatayo
Bhavya atmana Purv yena sarva hi eva sarvesham vidhiyante.
Bravya
Bhavya Atmana
Anupurvena
Anuritvirena
Sarvahi Eva
Sarvahi Eva
Sarvesham
Sarvesham
Vidhiyante
Vidiyante
यथा वर्ण विधानम अपवर्गश्चापि भवति.
Yatha
Yatha Varna Vidhanam
Vidanam Aparvargaschapi
Aparvargaschapi
Bhavati.
Bhavati
The people who take birth in this tract of land are divided according to the qualities of material nature. The modes of goodness, sattva-gun, passion, rajogun, and ignorance, tamogun. Some of them are born as exalted personalities. Some are ordinary human beings, and some are extremely abominable. For in Bharatvarsh, One takes birth exactly according to one's past karma. If one's position is ascertained by a bona fide spiritual master, and one is properly trained to engage in the service of the Lord Vishnu, according to the four social divisions, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, and the four spiritual divisions, Brahmachari, Grahast, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas, one's life becomes perfect. For further information, one should refer to Bhagavad Gita 14.18 and 18.42 to 45. Srila Ramanujacharya writes in his book Vedartha Sangraha, Evam Vidap Parabhakti Swarupa Jnana Vishesha Yotpadakaha Purvokta Har Upachiyamana Jnana Purvaka Karmanugrahita Bhakti Yoga Eva Yathoktam Bhagavata Parasharena Varnashrameti Nikhila Jagat Udharana Ya Vanitale Vatirnam Para Brahmabhuta Purushottama Swayam Etad Uktavan Swakarma Nirata Siddhim Yatha Vindati Takshanu Yata Pravritir Bhutanam Yena Sarvam Idam Tatam Swakarmana Tam Abhyarchya Siddhim Vindati Manavaha. In the Vishnu Puran 3.8.9, the great sage Parasar Muni has recommended Varnashrama Charavata Purushena Parapuman Vishnur Aradhyate Pantha Nanya Tatto Shakaranam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, is worshipped by the proper execution of prescribed duties. In the system of Varna and Ashram, there is no other way to satisfy the Lord. In the land of Bharatvarsh, the institution of Varnashrama Dharma may be easily adopted. At the present moment, certain demoniac sections of the population of Bharatvarsh are disregarding the system of Varnashrama Dharma. Because there is no institution to teach people how to become Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, or Brahmacharis, Grahasthas, Vanaprasthas, and Sannyasis, these demons want a classless society. This is resulting in chaotic conditions. Sorry, in the name of secular government, unqualified people are taking the supreme governmental post. No one is being trained to act according to the principles of Varnashrama Dharma. And thus people are becoming increasingly degraded and are heading in the direction of animal life. So actually Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, that he creates this Varnashrama society, the four Varnas, four ashrams, based on guna and karma, based on our nature, the work associated with that nature. So one is supposed to follow this Varnashrama Dharma for the pleasure of Krishna. So it's like a stepping stone. Varnashrama Dharma is a stepping stone to spirituality. So no one is being trained, but now we do not have this training. Here Sukadev Goswami is saying people born in India should follow Varnashrama Dharma, but there is no proper structure now. No training is given in this. And so because of that, because of there's no training, people are becoming increasingly degraded and heading in the direction of animal life. Here Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport. The real aim of life is liberation, but unfortunately, the opportunity for liberation is being denied to people in general, and therefore their human lives are being spoiled. So this aim of human life is so that we can get out of this birth and death, get liberation. But there is no proper training. That's what Prabhupada is saying. Therefore, the human life is spoiled. Because we are losing our opportunity to get liberated. Again, then we have to start that 8,400,000 species. The Krishna consciousness movement, however, is being propagated all over the world to re-establish the Varnashrama Dharma system and thus save human society from gliding down to hellish life. So the idea of following the ashram, the varna or the ashram, is for the pleasure of Krishna, to come to Krishna consciousness. It's not just enough to follow varna sharma, but we need to do it for the pleasure of Krishna. Become Krishna conscious by following our work associated with the nature. Yo,
Hare
so Bhagavati sir.
Hare Krishna,
Yes, Hare
Shilpa ji.
Krishna.
So just
Yes,
for a
Hare
review,
Krishna.
in this, they first described that how the Bharatvarsha main deity is Sri Ram, and Sri Hanumanji is worshipping and glorifying him. Right? In the previous, we have
In
read that
Kim
he was offering the
Purushvansh.
prayers.
In Kim
Sorry,
Purushavash.
Kim
In Kim
Purusha.
Purushavash. Yeah.
So, okay, then they were telling about the Kim Purusha verse, and then they were telling that how Hanumanji is the was offering prayers to Sri Ram. Sri Ram is the main deity being worshipped in the Kim Purusha, right?
Yes.
And now they are telling about the Bharatvarsh, right?
Yes.
But they haven't yet mentioned about the main deity, right? No,
No.
no, right?
No.
Nobody's offering any prayers in
No.
this Varsha right now, right?
Yeah, no. No,
Okay,
not
okay.
as such. Well, we heard this is 19, right? Mother Earth, she was offering, but that was in the previous chapter.
Hmm.
She offered prayers to Varahadev.
Yeah.
So here we started Kim Purusha Varsh, and then Hanuman's prayers that he's the best servant of God,
Hmm.
right? And his beautiful
Yeah.
prayers we heard. And okay, Ram, Lord Ram, friendship. Okay, and then Nar Narayan. Then we heard of Nar Narayan in the land of Badrikashram. Badrikashram
Okay. In
is
the
in
land
this
of
Bharatvarsh.
okay, so in
In
the Bharatvarsh,
Bharatvarsh,
Nar Narayan.
it's Nar
Okay.
Narayan.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay. So
then Narad
Bharatvarsh
Muni is
deity is Nar
offering.
Narayan, right?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
now,
Okay.
till now we have read. Yeah.
Okay.
Bharatvarsh,
Okay.
Nar Narayan in Badrikashram, Narad Muni, he's offering prayers to Nar Narayan,
Okay. So in the
right?
Bharatvarsh, Badrika Ashram, Nar Narayan is the main deity of the Bharatvarsh, and Narad Muni is offering the prayers, right?
Yeah. Narad Muni is
Okay.
offering prayers to Nar
Okay.
Narayan,
Okay. In the
and
Bharatvarsh.
then and then in the track, and then can he help us by giving us power to execute Bhakti Yoga? So this is Narad Muni. He was saying, help us to give up our attachment to the body. He kept saying the
Okay.
body is full of stool and urine, and we are so attached. Please give us bhakti.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then,
Okay.
okay, well, then he's continuing that Bharatvarsh, there are so many mountains and there are so many rivers.
Okay. So
And
he's glorifying, right? He's telling the importance, like how even the rivers are so full of, they could also give you so much in the Bharatvarsh track, right? Even they are so
that's right.
glorious. Okay, okay, perfect. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry
Okay.
to
Thank you. No,
stop.
no, it's good. It was good to
So in
review.
Ilavat
It
Varsh
was
is
good.
who then? Whose worship in Ilavat
Elaborate
Varsh?
was Lord Shiva. Lord
Shivji?
Shiva was
Yeah, Lord
worshipping
Shiva
Shiva.
was worshipped.
Sankarshan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Elaborate verse. We started our first with that. That
Ilavat.
Lord Shiva is worshipping, offering praise to Sankarshan.
Right.
And in this
Oh,
19th chapter, we heard in Kimpurushwash Hanumanji,
yes.
he is worshipping Lord
Lord
Ramchandra.
Ramachandra. Oh,
And then Narad Muni is offering prayers here to Nar
in
Narayan.
Yes.
Bharat.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it was good to review. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yoso Bhagavati Sarva Bhutatmane Anatme Nirukte Nilyane.
Yeah, aso Bhagavati Sarvabhuta Atmani
Sarvabhutatman.
Anatmaye Anirupte Anilayane.
Paramatmani Vasudeve Nanya Nimitta Bhakti Yoga Lakshano Nana.
Param
Param
Atmani Vasudev Ananya
Vasudeva
Nimit Bhakti Yoga
Bhakti Yoga
Lakshana
Lakshana
Nana.
Nana.
Gati Nimitta Vidya Granthi Randhana Varena Yadahi Maha.
Gati
Gati
Nimitta
Nimit Avidya
Vidya
Granthi
Granthi
Randhana
Randana
Dwarena Yadahi Maha.
Haritya
Purusha Purusha Prasangaha.
Purusha Purusha Prasangaha.
Sargaha.
After many, many births, when the results of one's pious activities mature, one gets an opportunity to associate with pure devotees. Then one is able to cut the knot of bondage to ignorance, which bound him because of varied fruitive activities. As a result of associating with devotees, one gradually renders service to Lord Vasudeva, who is transcendental, free from attachment to the material world, beyond the mind and words, and independent of everything else. That Bhakti Yoga, devotional service to Lord Vasudeva, is the real path of liberation. Brahman realization is the beginning of liberation, and Paramatma realization is still further advancement toward the realm of liberation. But one achieves real liberation when he understands his position as an eternal servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Muktir hitvan yatha rupam swarupena vyavasthitihi. So, just as we can understand an object more clearer as we can go nearer to the object, like Prabhupada would give the example of a hill. If we see from very far away, it seems very foggy, like a cloud. We go nearer, we can see some sort of a shape, something green. If we actually go in the hill, we can see the trees, the flowers. So similarly, when we are understanding the absolute truth from very far away, we understand God as Brahman, Brahmajyoti, Brahman realization. So the spirit soul, when he understands, oh, I'm not the matter, I am spirit, that is Brahman realization. As he goes further, he engages further, advances further in spiritual life, he understands, I am Brahman, yes, but there is a Para Brahman. I am the soul, but there is a super soul. So he understands the identity of the Paramatma. As one advances further, one understands, oh, my real identity is I'm eternal servant of God. Jivera Swarupai Krishna Nityadas. Lord Chaitanya, he begins his teachings with that. Krishna ends the Bhagavad Gita with this teaching. Surrender unto me, Krishna says. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. Why does Krishna say surrender unto me? Because there's a difference between Krishna's position and the position of the individual soul. You see, there is a difference. That's why Krishna is saying surrender. So when one understands one's real position as eternal servant of God, that is real liberation. So we can see liberation also is happening in stages, stages gradually. In the material world, in the bodily concept of life, everyone is working in the wrong direction. When one becomes Brahma Bhuta, spiritually realized, one understands that he's not the body, and that working in the bodily concept of life is useless and misdirected. Then his devotional service begins. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 18:54, Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma na sochati na kankshati samasarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate para. One who is thus transcendentally situated realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed to every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. Devotional service is actual liberation. So Sanatan Dharma, we say the sun. What is Sanatan Dharma? Sanatan Dharma is devotional service. It's the eternal activity of every soul, is to serve. So serving God is the highest activity, devotional service. So when does this actually happen? When one becomes Brahman realized, when one understands I'm not the body, I am spirit soul, I am Brahman. At that state, he is joyful. He does not lament because he's understood he's not the body. Lamentation is with the body, whereas the soul is Satchidananda, eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. And in that state, one understands, oh, I have a duty towards God, and he engages in the duty. That is devotional service. When one is attracted by the beauty of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his mind is always engaged at the Lord's lotus feet, he is no longer interested in subjects that do not help him in self-realization. In other words, he loses all attraction for material activities. So the pure devotee, his mind is just fixed on Krishna. And just like a mother, the child baby is born. So mother's mind is just fixed on the baby. Everything she'll do, her waking up, her sleeping, her eating, everything is to see the best comfort of the child. So the devotee, and because she loves the child, it's not that the child is paying her. No, it's because she loves the child. So the devotee, he loves God. So he does everything for the pleasure of God. In the Taittiriya Upanishad 2.7, it is said, Esha hi evanandhyati yada hi eva esha itasmin nadrishye natnye anirukte nilyane bhayam pratishtham vindate thaso bhayam gato bhavati. A living entity becomes established in spiritual blissful life when he fully understands that his happiness depends on spiritual self-realization, which is the basic principle of Ananda, bliss. And when he is eternally situated in the service of the Lord, who has no other Lord above him. So one may think that Krishna has also somebody greater than, there must be someone greater than Krishna. There must be someone who knows more than Krishna, or someone who's more powerful than Krishna, or some origin of Krishna. No, Krishna is the cause of all causes, Sarva Karana Karanam. There's no one equal to or greater than Krishna. Asamordhva, that is Krishna's position. So when one actually fully understands it, that is self-realization, spiritual realization. When one can understand, then I'm eternal servant of God. Actually understand it. I'm an eternal servant of God. Jivera Swarupai Krishna Nityadas. And at that stage, one feels complete happiness, complete bliss, because it's above the body. In this platform, the false ego is gone away. When one can understand, I am eternal servant of God, that is our true ego. Our false ego is I'm this body, I'm this, I'm that. That's false ego. What's our true ego? I'm eternal servant of God. So when we can revive this, when we can realize this, then we are completely happy. Is it okay? Any questions, comments? Anything to add?
No, but just one very nice thing, that bhakti is mukti. They just mentioned,
Yeah.
right? That bhakti
Yeah.
is mukti. So if you have started bhakti, if you are like pure devotion, then people are aspiring for mukti, but then that's mukti.
Yes.
So nicely said. The bhakti is
Yes.
mukti. Yeah.
Etad eva hi deva gayante.
Etat eva hi deva gayanti
Aho amisham kimakari shobhanam.
Aho
Aho
amisham
Amisham
kimakari shobhanam.
Prasanna esham swaduta swayam hari.
Prasanna
Prasanna
yesham
Yesham
swaduta swayam hari.
Yarjanma labdam shubharata chire.
Yajanma tam
Janmalakam
Rishu Bharatajire.
Mukunda seva paikam srihahina.
Mukund Seva Opaikam Sprahahina.
Since the human form of life is a sublime position for spiritual realization, all the demigods in heaven speak in this way. How wonderful it is for these human beings to have been born in the land of Bharatvarsh. They must have executed pious acts of austerity in the past, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself must have been pleased with them. Otherwise, how could they engage in devotional service in so many ways? We demigods can only aspire to achieve human births in Bharatvarsh, to execute devotional service, but these human beings are already engaged there. So here Narad Muni is saying that the demigods are also wanting to take birth in Bharatvarsh and engage in bhakti. These facts are further explained in Caitaniya Caritamita, Adi Leela, chapter 9, text 41. Bharata bhumite haila manushya janma yar, janma sarthaka kari, karapara upakar. One who has taken his birth as a human being in the land of India, Bharatvarsh, should make his life successful and work for the benefit of all other people. So, because it's a great responsibility, it's a great privilege to be born in India, in Bharatvarsh. And Lord Chaitanya is saying that we should give this opportunity to everyone to chant Krishna's name. Make our life successful by giving Krishna to anyone and everyone. There are many facilities in India, Bharatvarsh, for executing devotional service. Just like we heard that there are so many rivers, one can go bathe in the pious river. In India, people are naturally very pious. Because of their past karmas, they're naturally very pious. Natural attraction to Krishna consciousness. In Bharatvarsh, all the acharyas contributed their experience, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally appeared to teach the people of Bharatvarsh how to progress in spiritual life and be fixed in devotional service to the Lord. From all points of view, Bharatvarsh is the special land where one can very easily understand the process of devotional service and adopt it to make his life successful. And we can see now so many more people are joining ISKCON in India. So many more temples are coming up. Young people are joining. It's growing so much, Krishna consciousness in India. If one makes his life successful in devotional service and then preaches devotional service in other parts of the world, people throughout the world will actually benefit. So the idea is that we become Krishna conscious and give Krishna consciousness to everyone. Like when Lord Chaitanya, he created that mango tree. So he was like, eat the mango and distribute the mango. The more you eat, the more you distribute, the more mango you will have, the more sweeter the mango will be. So we engage in devotional service and encourage others to engage in devotional service.
Hare Krishna, Shilpa ji, just one question.
Yes.
So you said Bharatvarsh. So Bharatvarsh is the whole tract, right? The whole of the
India, no?
and
Right
only
now he's speaking about India specifically.
no, that is Bharat Desh, right? No.
Well, we can understand it as both. The
Okay,
planet
because
Earth
yeah, planet Earth. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
also, Also, and also specifically as India.
India. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
specifically also India. Bharata Bhumi
Okay.
Haila. Lord Chaitanya says those who are born in India become
Hmm.
preachers. There's
Hmm.
a great responsibility. So
And they are
then,
very
if we
fortunate,
say,
right?
yeah, we are fortunate to be born in India.
Yeah.
And people want to
We
give
are
up their
fortunate.
citizenship. They don't want their kids to
No,
have the citizenship of India.
that's
That's also
that's
true.
irrelevant. No, that's irrelevant because of maybe practicality, practical things. But the point is that if one has gotten this opportunity, then give this
Hmm.
opportunity to others
Mm.
of
By
of
spreading the knowledge.
Krishna consciousness. Yes,
Okay. Okay.
yes, that is the point. That
Hmm.
okay, you have a natural inclination towards Krishna consciousness. Very good. Now give it to others like that.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what Lord Chaitanya's instruction is.
Is it also they're mentioning that in the land of Bharatvarsh, like in India, it is easy to accept and understand bhakti, right?
Yes, that's what Narad Muni is saying.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that's the reason the demigods are wanting to be born there, because of already some past pious activities have been performed. So
Hmm.
because of that, people are more, what do you say,
Holy
able
or
to
they're inclined
understand spiritual life, able to
spiritual.
understand spiritual life.
Hmm.
Like before in India, even a common villager would understand, oh, there is a difference between body and soul, depend on
Hmm.
God, you know,
Hmm.
all these things. Even like a
Hmm.
very, very common farmer would be like, depending on God,
Hmm.
or would understand there's a difference between body and soul.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So
it's
there's
true.
like
I
a
see in India
natural,
you find
yeah,
people pious in India, no? Compared to other
yeah, yeah,
countries.
yeah,
It's true.
yes, it's true.
And you see also many foreigners coming, why? Like to India because of
Yeah,
this now.
yes, that's right. That's right. So there's like a natural inclination.
Inclinations.
It's just
And
natural,
still, there are
naturally
so
there.
powerful gurus still there. If you just be in their association, you can be purified. That is
Yes,
also one of the reasons. Like, there are so many of them.
yes, yes. It's true. Yes, that's right.
Hmm.
So then it's a responsibility of every Indian to give Krishna consciousness to others. This is what Lord Chaitanya's instruction is, that everyone who's born in Bharatvarsh, give Krishna to everyone. Speak about Krishna to others. Yare dekha tare kaha Krishna upadesh. As we just heard in the previous verse, Prabhupada was quoting from Caitanya Caritamita. Bharata bhumi te haila.
Manushe Janmayar.
Bharata Manusya Janma Yar, Janma Sarthaka Kari Kara Paropaka. One who has taken his birth as a human being in the land of India, Bharatvarsh, should make his life successful and work for the benefit of all other people. And the highest benefit that one can give to other is chant Hare Krishna, is giving the holy name to others. That's the highest benefit that one can give to another. The greatest welfare work. So then going on to 22. Kim dushkarena kratubistapo vrater
Kim dushkarena
Karena
tapovrate
kratubhyastapovrate
dana dibirva dyuje yena falguna.
दानादिभिवा
Jaye
द्विजयेन फल्गुना
न यत्र नारायणपादपङ्कज
न यत्र नारायणपादपङ्कज
स्मृति प्रमुष्टातिशयेन्द्रिययोत्सवात्
Smriti Pramushta
प्रमुष्टाति
Atishay Indriya Utsavata.
इन्द्रियोत्सवात्.
The demigods continue. After performing the very difficult task of executing Vedic ritualistic sacrifices, undergoing austerities, observing vows, and giving charity, we have achieved this position as inhabitants of the heavenly planets. But what is the value of this achievement? Here we are certainly very engaged in material sense gratification, and therefore we can hardly remember the lotus feet of Lord Narayan. Indeed, because of our excessive sense gratification, we have almost forgotten his lotus feet. So here, the demigods are praying. Now, that first they were praying that they want to be, Narad Muni is saying, no, that the demigods are praying that they want to be born in the land of Bharat. Now they are saying we are enjoying so much. You know, when we have a lot of enjoyment, then we say, who's God? Why God? Isn't it? We forget God. We say so much happiness, so much enjoyment. So the land of Bharatvarsh is so exalted that by taking birth there, one can not only attain the heavenly planets, but also go directly back home, back to Godhead. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 9:25, Yanti Deva Vrata Devan, Pitrin Yanti Pitrivrata, Bhutani Yanti Bhutejya, Yanti Madhya Jino Pima. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. Those who worship ancestors go to the ancestors, and those who worship me will live with me. People in the land of Bharatvarsh generally follow the Vedic principles and consequently perform great sacrifices by which they can be elevated to the heavenly planets. However, what is the use of such great attainments? As stated in Bhagavad Gita 9:21, Shine Punye Martya Lokam Vishanti. After the results of one's sacrifices, charity, and other pious activities expire, one must return to the lower planetary systems and again feel the pangs of birth and death. However, one who becomes Krishna conscious can go back to Krishna, Yanti Madhyajino Prima. So here in India, people are naturally pious, naturally engaged in pious activities and rituals, and which will bring one performing great sacrifices, which will bring one to heavenly planets. But Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita that such pious activities, the results of such pious activities also will come to an end one day. And then after the punya karma or pious activities have finished, one will again have to be born in lower species of life, in animal life, or in hellish planets. So it's like a Ferris wheel going up and down and up and down. However, one who becomes Krishna conscious can go back home, back to Godhead, can get out of the cycle, samsara, the cycle of birth and death. By becoming Krishna conscious, one can leave permanently this cycle. Therefore, the demigods even regret having been elevated to the higher planetary systems. The denizens of the heavenly planets regret that they could not take full advantage of being born in the land of Bharatvarsh. Instead, they became captivated by a higher standard of sense gratification, and therefore they forgot the lotus feet of Lord Narayan at the time of death. The conclusion is that one who has taken birth in the land of Bharatvarsh must follow the instructions given personally by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yad Gatvana Nivartante Tad Dhama Paramam Mama. one should try to return home back to Godhead, to the Vaikuntha planets, or to the topmost Vaikuntha planet, Golok Vrindavan, to live eternally in full blissful knowledge in the company of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Prabhupada is explaining that the demigods, the citizens of the heavenly planets, they are regretting that, oh, why we became demigods. Instead, we should have engaged in devotional service, remember lotus feet of Krishna, go back home, back to Godhead. They regret that they could not take full advantage of being born in the land of Bharatvarsh. So Prabhupada is explaining, generally, people in Bharatvarsh are pious. They engage in sacrifices, pious punya karma, pious activities. So they go to the heavens. Now they've reached the heaven, and now they are regretting, oh my God, why didn't I just become a devotee? I forgot lotus feet of Krishna, like a pure devotee. Of course, sure, they are devotees, but like a pure devotee, so I can get out of this material world. And so Prabhupada is pointing out that one should follow this instruction, that Krishna's instruction in Bhagavad Gita, Yad Gatvana Nivartante Tad Dhama Paramam Mama, to go back home, back to Godhead. One should try to follow. This is Krishna's instruction to everyone, to go back home, back to Godhead, to live eternal, blissful life in the company of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So one may think, well, I'll go to the spiritual world and I will become God over there. No, God is there, in the company of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. God is already there. We have to go there, see Him face to face, speak to Him, have a loving relationship with Him, live eternally there in full knowledge, full happiness. You want to add anything? Anyone?
It also says, like about the demigods, they say that they forgot the lotus feet of Lord Narayan at the time of death.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're regretting.
I think Amrendra who said for this, Hare Krishna, then he was saying that Putana came. So she dressed as a very beautiful gopi. Whatever was desirable for Krishna, she dressed in that way, how a gopi should be. She came running, like she came kharchari, like she came flying to meet Krishna. And only in the end, when she breastfed, that was only that she gave the poison to Krishna. She wanted to give that poison to Krishna. So so he compared it, and he said that one of the acharyas has compared, and they have said that whole life human beings are remembering Krishna. They are doing everything it's possible in their hand. But if at the time of death you forget, like how Putna offered wish to Krishna, so if you forget in that way, still Krishna will not leave you, because he assured that he gave that life to Putna, right? So he made Putna mother in the heavenly planet, not heavenly, in the spiritual planet, the spiritual planet, the spiritual world. She's the mother. So he is just showing us the way that don't worry. If for the whole life, like, people think that, oh, I'll wear the tilak, I'll do everything. So if you're doing the bhakti for whole of your life, and if at the time of death, like how the demigod said that we forgot your feet, so Krishna assured that if I delivered Putna, I will deliver you. You don't have to worry. I will come for you. At the time, in that last moment, I will come. So he just showed a parallel that though like she didn't do it intentionally, right? She just came to attract. She dressed as a gopi because she looked as the most beautiful gopi at that moment in the Vrindavan. She was the most beautiful one. Everybody was like so attracted. Even Amrendra Prabhu was saying that even Mother Yashoda thought that, oh my God, she is the mother of what? Like, what am I? Like, and she holded Krishna with so much love
Mm.
in her arms, and in that moment, though she had the intention was not right, but what so he just said that no matter, you just have to do your
Mm.
bhakti, just walk on this path. If you will forget Krishna at the last moment, he will come for you, as he delivered Putna. So that was the most beautiful example, like, he gave, like in the parallel of one of the acharyas comparison he was doing. So
Very good. This verse is actually spoken by Uddhav to Vidur. Alas, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than he, who granted the position of mother to a she-demon
yeah,
Putana, although she was unfaithful, and she prepared deadly poison to be sucked from her breast. Uddhav says this, that who can be more compassionate, as you were saying. So this
yeah,
verse is spoken by Uddhav to Vidur,
yeah. So
very
he was
famous.
exaggerating on this. Yeah, he was exaggerating, like he was.
Ahobakiyam stanakalakutam.
Mm.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a beautiful verse. Ahobakiyam stanakalakutam.
Aho
Can repeat.
bakiyam stanakalukutam
Jigham sayapaya yadapi asadhave.
jigyan sayam avapayadapi asadhavi
Lebhe gatim dhatriyochitam tatonyam.
lebhe gatim dhatri uchitam tatho anyam
Kam va dayalom sharanam rajema.
kam va dayalum sharanam vrajema.
Hmm. Alas, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than he, who granted the position of mother to a she-demon Putana, although she was unfaithful, and she prepared deadly poison to be sucked from her breast. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. We will end on
because she
this
came
note.
as a mother, right?
Yes.
That's why.
Yeah,
So he
she
had to
came
deliver.
as a mother.
Yeah, mother, the position of a mother. So
She
he
came
can't
as a
take.
mother.
Yeah, he
So,
can't.
but what we'll do, we will not see that. How did she come? What they gave? They oh so bad to try to kill me. I'm gonna, do something bad. But Krishna is like, no, 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 no. He's disregarding that she came to kill him. He's like, no, no, no. She fed me. So he
Yeah.
sees any little thing we can do for him. He sees that. So he's the most compassionate. So who else is more merciful? This is what Uddhav is trying to say. So he's encouraging us to take shelter of Krishna. Who else is more merciful than Krishna? Who else is more worthy of taking shelter of? So taking shelter of Krishna because he's so compassionate, so merciful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
The Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki